evening, everybody, and welcome to my first club virtual. It's nice to see you. Tonight we're going to talk about just a little bit about how to sell your house during COVID-19. So I have some great information to share with you. If you would like to participate in the Q&A, just please put your question in there, and I'll be very happy to answer them. It's the first time I'm using Club Virtual, so it might take me a second to share my screen, so please play along, and I promise we'll get it going. So let's see, hold on. There we go. Let's see if we can share that. You folks can see that. Okay. All right. Great. Terrific. Okay. So there's my information. I hope everybody can see that. That's how you can reach me. So I want you to consider this this evening. If you're looking to sell your house, some people will say, well, we're in the middle of COVID, the winter is coming, is now the right time to sell my house? Absolutely, if you're prepared. So consider these facts. Closed sales in New York State are up 17% from this time last year, 17%. Pending sales, which means sales that are under contract right now, that are getting ready to close, statewide in all of New York State, they're up almost 40% from this time last year at 39%. At the same time, there's a 21% decrease in inventory. Supply and demand, what makes this country all about, what this country is all about, right? And the average sales price, because of the buyer demand and the lack of inventory, the average sales price is up 22% statewide from 2019. If you're interested in more local statistics, Long Island, Westchester, the boroughs of New York City, feel free to email me at Howie Greene Real Estate at gmail.com, and I'm happy to give you local statistics. Here's the checklist if you're a seller. First, people, and more people. There are going to be people traipsing through your house. I had a house for sale that is now pending in Deer Park. We had 129 agent showings within 10 days. I had an open house on a Saturday afternoon, and we had 83 people show up, 83. So you really have to think about all these people traipsing through your house. Are there health issues within your household? Are you, your husband, wife, God forbid, a child, a sibling, anyone in your house with health issues, underlying health issues that would be affected adversely more than others when it comes to COVID-19? Maybe you don't want people coming into your house. We have love buyers. We love all the buyers, but we have touchy-feely buyers. Buyers, not humans, but they like to touch stuff. So you're going to have people coming through your house touching stuff. They're going to be touching the doorknobs. They're going to be touching the kitchen appliances. They might look at the bathroom. They might go into your furnace and boiler area and look around. Be aware that you're going to have a lot of people touching things. When you sell your house, you're going to have inspectors and appraisers. You may have a surveyor coming to the property. You may have to have work done in your house before you start showing. You want to make sure that all those contractors and vendors are following state guidelines, which is basically masking up, gloves, and they should have booties on as well. Also consider, if you're thinking of selling, where are you moving to? I just showed you how the prices are up, inventory's down. If you're leaving, even if you're leaving the state, if you're going to Florida or Arizona or South Carolina or Vegas, wherever you're going, these housing markets are seeing craziness right now with it being a buyer's market and people wanting to move out of metropolitan areas. Also, one of the things that we're recommended to do by the New York State Association of Realtors and by Governor Cuomo is homeowners shouldn't be home when we're showing your property. So be prepared to vacate your home for showings, whether that means agents are coming to show your property or we're having an open house. Things that you should have in your home at all times, although if you sign up with a realtor to list your property, we'll supply these for you, or we should. Gloves, masks, booties. And by the way, everyone that comes in a house should be wearing a mask, and there's a lot of controversy as to whether gloves work. There's a lot of controversy on masks, right? But under the state guidelines, we are required that everyone that comes into a house wear a mask. And you should be wearing masks too, and be waiting outside. You should have hand sanitizer available, wipes so you can wipe down your countertops and your doorknobs every time someone leaves. Now, it's very tough. Who's coming and taking the photos of your house? What photos are you going to show? You want to make, this is a whole other webinar on how to stage your home. And maybe you don't want anybody in your house. So you could tell your realtor that you would prefer if you had a virtual tour. And I'll get to that in a second as well. Okay. What to expect from your realtor? First of all, a lot of people are trying to sell their houses on their own. Obviously, my business is selling real estate. So I would prefer if you hired me or one of my colleagues, really me. But the facts are that many more people are going to see your property for sale if you list with an agent. And rather than listing it on your own for sale, because we can post in the multiple listing service where you cannot on your own. So what you should expect from your realtor before you hire one is safety first. When the realtor shows up at your property to pitch you, are they following state guidelines? Are they wearing a mask? Did they bring booties? Are they practicing safety? Are they really letting you know how you can price this in a seller's market? A lot of people are what we call very ambitious on price. You have to remember it is a seller's market, but you also have to remember where you're pricing it. Sometimes it pays to price it a little low than it says in the comparative market analysis, the CMA that your realtor should do for you, and let the market drive up the price. How are they marketing this property? It'll obviously be in the MLS. It'll be on Zillow and Realtor.com and all of those through a news feed, but you have to make sure that you tell your realtor agent that you want it marketed through all of the websites that people are checking out now. Are they using a drone? I like to use drone technology when I show my homes. Also, there's a thing now called Matterport where we can do a virtual showing where we can actually have, we can go in and take photos, like 360-degree photos, and turn it into an actual virtual showing as if people are walking through the home. Also, the state guidelines, you have to limit the number of people in your house at one time. This gets a little complicated because it's tough to know. It's really tough to know how many people you could let in. Really, it should be less than 6 people. Children should not be going in the house. Actually, no one who is not in the buying process should not be in the house. So if somebody comes to see it and they want to bring their 4 relatives in, your realtor should tell them no. You should only have only the buyers, the people who are buying the home in your house. You have to decide whether you're going to have open houses to begin with. And there's paperwork. Over here, you can see, I hope you can see this. There are 2 forms that you should really be concerned with. One is a COVID-19 disclosure form that is signed by you and anyone who comes into the property that states that we're in a pandemic and they understand that we're in a pandemic and they're going to wear a mask and they're going to socially distance, but there's still risks in showing properties. And also there's a health questionnaire, which I don't have for you. Oh, I think I do have it right here. I don't have it right now for you, but the health questionnaire is just a survey asking people where they've been in the past 14 days, quite frankly. So these are things that you should really consider when you are selling your home. By the way, if you're buying a home, you should consider these things as well. Is it a safe environment for you and your family if you're going in and looking at these properties? So it's a great time to sell. There's always that myth that, well, it's winter, we don't sell in winter. You saw these statistics, how prices are up, inventory is down, and it's still a seller's market as we go through this second or third wave of this unfortunate and tragic pandemic. It seems we all know someone, we all know somebody or more than someone who's sick with COVID-19 or has passed away. And you have to prepare yourself or protect yourself in your own home. And when you do hire a realtor to, hopefully it would be me, but if you do hire a realtor to list your property, make sure that they are following all of the safety guidelines and that you discuss these things with them. You can always reach me. Obviously, let's see, we have some questions here. We have a question coming. David B asks, as a buyer, it seems like it's a seller's market. It doesn't seem like a good time to buy. Wouldn't I be buying at the top of the market? David, it's the question is it's valid. It is a seller's market. We don't know when it's going to become a buyer's market. None of us have a crystal ball, but none of us expected this buyer's frenzy that started as soon as we were let out of lockdown. The market went crazy. It stays crazy. There are still bargains out there, but if you're going to move from a metropolitan area like New York City, and you're going to try to move to a suburb on Long Island, you're going to have a lot of competition, and it's going to be extremely difficult if you're trying to buy a house. It really depends. If you want to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, sure. But if you feel you need to move for your family, you need to try to find the best deal you have. And that's, again, why you want to hire a realtor that can help you do that. Okay. Let's see if we have any other questions. That's the only question we have. Okay. The other question we have is how to reach me. I'm a real estate agent with Charles Rotenberg Realty. We're the #1 listing broker on Long Island. I personally work everywhere from Suffolk County to Nassau County, all 5 boroughs, Westchester County, all the way up to Orange County. And I also work in the Buffalo, New York area. My specialty is working with trusts and estates. So if you have either one of those, I'm your person. Please feel free. Please feel free to contact me if I can help you with that. We have Bill Scoberley asking me, what is the best thing to do for your home to sell? That's a great question. You really want to look around and see, what's the state of your property? Do you need new carpeting? Because maybe, you have pets or you have children that have traipsed through the house for years, and there's a lot of stains and the carpet might be torn. That's something that buyers look at. Also, kitchens and bathrooms. You want to make sure that your kitchens and bathrooms are in great shape. Sometimes people will renovate or update their kitchens. That will add to the selling price. But quite honestly, I have found in this market, it really doesn't matter what shape your property is in. There are going to be plenty of buyers. You also want to make sure that there's no leaks anywhere. And if you see any leaks, that those are taken care of, obviously, and then painted. Check for mold spots and make sure that everything is taken care of so the house looks great when people are looking at it. John asks, what kind of financing rates are you seeing in the New York suburbs now? If you're refining, you can get rates as low as 2.5 to 2.9. Depending on your credit rating and depending on income and all those other things, your debt to income ratio, you can get some pretty low mortgage rates in the 2s right now. If you need some help finding a mortgage broker or a mortgage banker, please feel free to email me at howiegreenrealestate@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to refer some really great mortgage brokers or mortgage bankers. There's a difference between mortgage brokers and mortgage bankers. That's for another webinar. Eric asks about his son, who says he keeps wanting to sell his home by himself. What can I tell him to convince him to use a real estate agent? I believe he should. Real estate agents can reach thousands and thousands more people by posting in the MLS, the multiple listing service, than you can as listing as a for sale by owner, or as we call FSBO. You also don't know who's coming into your home. We do have some controls as a real estate agent on who is coming and going. Also remember that not everyone is a realtor. I keep using this term, real estate agent and realtor. In New York State, to practice real estate sales, you have to be a real estate salesperson, also known as an agent. They have to be attached to a real estate broker. When you see the term realtor, like Phil Dunphy on Modern Family. A Realtor belongs to the National Association of Realtors, which I do. Also the New York State Association of Realtors, the Long Island Board of Realtors, and also Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors, which is the Bronx, Westchester, Orange County, and a little bit more upstate. And realtors have a code of ethics that they have to follow. So you always want to look for someone who is a realtor. Also on that note, I am a member of the New York State Association of Realtors Fair Housing Committee. So I'm also a fair, I won't say a fair housing expert, but I know a lot about fair housing, the laws, how to follow them, and what you need to know as a seller. Amy's asking, I'm looking to do virtual tours of a home for sale. What would be the best advice on doing that? There's several apps that you can use. Matterport works great. It's expensive. Most of the times, if you have a real estate agent doing this for you or realtor, they can get you a discount or they'll build it into their commission. So I know, like when I do Matterports for my clients, I don't pass it on to my clients. That's part of my services to you. But I really like Matterport. They do 360 virtual tours, 3D tours. It's really fantastic. Another question from Mr. Fish about how important is curb appeal. Curb appeal is always important. You want to make sure that even though we're going into winter now, that you have landscaping, that your front door looks great, and just try to keep up with the elements right now. But curb appeal is always important. You know, when people go into homes, they look around at how you live. You know, so a lot of people open up closets. And if you have what we used to call Monica's closet from Friends, you have every belonging that you've ever had that you hoarded in your closets. That's a bad sign for buyers. So you want to really watch the clutter. Okay, you also, your real estate agent or your realtor can help you stage your home. We can also virtually stage your home as well if it's empty. But you want to obviously make it look the best you can. That's also, I think that's probably for another Club Virtual on how to stage your home. That's something I can help you with, or any agent or realtor that's worth their weight in salt. Is that the saying? They could provide all of these for you. Jason asked, do you think after COVID the housing market prices will drop? First of all, I don't know when COVID's ending. And Jason, respectfully, none of us have a crystal ball. There's very few of us, other than those of us that were trying to think positively, that could have told you this frenzy would be still going on or would have gone on at all. We're seeing problems with unemployment, obviously, with people having to line up at food banks, and yet the housing market is not comparable to it, because people are buying homes and they're paying tens of thousands over asking price. So eventually we'll hit a bubble, and depending on where you are, prices should come down. But really, who knows when that will be. Allison asked, if I have a small place that needs work and I'm putting it on the market, is it better to stage my place or have it empty? Well, it really depends. It depends on how much money you're looking to make. Do you have to pay off a mortgage? Are you going to walk away with a profit? Lots of times it's better to have it empty and let us virtually stage it, especially if we're not going to be showing it a lot to the public. I really think a lot of parts of New York State, New York City, and Nassau and Suffolk County, Westchester County, I even think in Erie County and Buffalo, I think we're going to get locked down again, quite frankly, if not before Christmas and New Year's after that. And we're going to go back to virtual showings. So we can stage an apartment, any kind of space, a house. We can do that with virtual staging. But if you have a larger house, sometimes people like to, they like to put some furniture in there, make it so people can see what it looks like. A lot of people want to see an empty slate. So a lot of it is preference and how much money you want to spend, because staging is a seller expense. Okay. David asked, will home prices drop as interest rates rise? We don't know if interest rates are going to rise. And as I said earlier, we have no idea really what's going to happen to the market. Everything I read from the National Association of Realtors and other sources says the market's going to keep going crazy because we have a lack of inventory. And home prices are just not going to drop while we have a lack of inventory. There's another issue here, which is which is people don't want to leave their homes. People want to stay in their homes. They're afraid to leave. They're afraid to go outside. I don't blame them. And you also have to ask yourself as a seller, where are you going? Where are you moving to? And build that into what kind of profit you need to make. Okay. Thomas wants to know if I can flip houses. Not with my bare hands, but with my abilities. Yes, I can help you. I can help you flip houses. Oh, I see. David clarified what he said. Does it mean at one point interest rates will rise? We have a new administration coming in. I think January 20th at 12 o'clock. From the last I heard, we'll have to see how the new Fed chair responds. We'll have to see how the marketplace responds before we know if interest rates will rise. But again, I don't think it's so much interest rates as much as it is buyer demand. Buyer demand is crazy. There was all this pent up demand for months and months and months while this country was locked down. And especially in Nassau, Suffolk County, in Westchester County, you're seeing, listen, I had a house for sale in Deer Park, and we had 38 offers. And 13 or 14 of them were way over asking price. So if you want good deals right now in Manhattan, even if you're renting, you could also, you can get very good deals in Manhattan right now and Brooklyn. The other thing to think about, if you want to let buyers in your home, or even if you're trying to rent and you want renters to come into your home, remember that your agent is responsible, or whoever is showing it, if it's a buyer's agent showing your property, they need to be masked up. Gloves should be worn, but there's a lot of controversy on whether gloves actually work or not. But they should also carry wipes with them to wipe everything down. They should advise their clients to try and not touch too many surfaces. And you may, as a seller, and you have the right to do this, you may only want to show your property to people who've been pre-approved for a mortgage, or it can show you proof of funds, meaning they're going to pay cash. This way, you're just not letting just anybody into your home. And again, this is a service that a realtor will provide to you. I always ask for pre-approval letters or proof of funds letters, and certainly the COVID-19 disclosure form, and certainly the health questionnaire. Okay, let's see if we have any questions here. Looks like, let's see. Again, David, as inventory on Long Island dries up, other areas open up, any suggestions where to look for a bargain? Okay, so legally I cannot tell you where to look. I can't tell your neighborhoods to look, but if you're really looking for bargains, right now in Manhattan and Brooklyn, there's tons of bargains depending on what your budget is. If you go way out in Suffolk County, you might be able to find some good deals. And also upstate in the city of Buffalo or the suburbs of Buffalo, there's some really good bargains right now. So thank you for all of those amazing questions. I really appreciate it. Let me just share my information with you again so you know how to find me. That is not it. Okay, I hope you guys can you guys see this? I hope that, okay, let's see if we can get that up there for you. Okay, that is my information, how to find me. Please, find me through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, or you can email me anytime at Howie Greene realestate@gmail.com. HowieGreenRealEstate@gmail.com. I thank you very much for joining me tonight. Please feel free to ask me any questions you like by email, or leave a message here in the Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer it. Other than that, have a beautiful night. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Wear a mask. Take care.